Even as we celebrate this centenary of the Easter Rising of 1916, there are people, Irish people, who would erase our history just to put a few euros in their back pockets, and politicians who aid and abet them. A simple example of this, right now, today, there's a street called Moore Street, which is the final Alamo, you might say, of Irish independence, where our heroes, trapped, surrounded, outnumbered, were forced to surrender. The state guaranteed that those buildings would be preserved. A couple of weeks later, the bulldozers moved in for the developer who owns the properties. They put the developers, head honcho, in charge of the preservation of Moore Street. But we were lucky. Some activists decided to occupy the buildings and prevent the demolition. In the meantime, James Connolly Heron, descendant, great-grandson of James Connolly himself, and the O'Rahilly and others went to the High Court, and the High Court forbade the destruction. The High Court ruled that the battlefield site was a historic site and made a preservation order that included not just all the houses, the important ones, but also the greater area. Now, when the government came to commemorate this historic event, the minister who laid a wreath at Moore Street in honour of these great men was the same minister who is fighting the preservation order on behalf of the government to overturn the High Court ruling so that the buildings can be demolished. You couldn't make it up. And while she was laying a wreath, James Connolly Heron and the O'Rahilly's grandson and some other of the relatives were excluded from the celebrations. How obscene is that? This is not the Ireland they died for.